Greetings, Green Thumb Gardening family. In this evening's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys along with me as I show you guys exactly how easy it is to propagate potato mint. These are our 2 rows of African potato mint back here at Little Creek Homestead at our backyard food forest. As you guys can see, since our very first video in this video series on our African potato mint, they have really grown tremendously, to say the least. I mean, they're holding hands across these rows that you guys can see all the way down, going down there. In this evening's video, we're going to be taking approximately 150 cuttings from these African potato mint plants back here. And we're doing that as a gift. We're going to be propagating these cuttings as a gift for our friend Mrs. Ina up in Chicago, Illinois, at her grand opening of her new store, Roots and Vine Produce and Cafe. I'll be leaving you guys the link to her website, also the address to her new location there in Chicago, Illinois, in the link video description to this video. At any rate, I'm going to get in here, and again, as you guys can see, these plants are huge, so I'm going to get in here. I'm going to go ahead and take 150 of these cuttings. I won't bore you guys with the entire process of taking these cuttings. I will take like maybe 1 cutting from these plants out here to show you guys how I go about taking it. I mean, I really don't need shears or a pair of scissors or anything. I can really just snap these cuttings off with my bare hand and root these cuttings. But I will get in here with, and take this first cutting, show you guys what we're going to be doing here. I'm simply going to be taking cuttings of about this length from these African potato mint plants back here. We'll be dropping these cuttings into this bucket here. When we get about 150 of these cuttings in this bucket, we'll continue this video around on our front porch, where I'll show you guys exactly how easy it is to propagate African potato mint, and I'll be showing you guys the method that I'm going to use personally to propagate these 150 African potato mint cuttings. Hang tight. Alright, Green Thumb Gardening family, we're back. Here we have in this bucket a total of 154 of our African potato mint cuttings that we took from our plants back in our backyard food forest back at Little Creek Homestead. We took a few extra cuttings just in case something happened. One of the cuttings, it wasn't a decent cutting or something like that right there. We took a few extra cuttings just in case. What we have here is about a 4-gallon container here. We're going to be using this container along with a couple of other things to propagate these 150 of these cuttings for, again, our friend Mrs. Ina, the owner of Roots and Vine Produce and Cafe up in Chicago, Illinois. And again, I'll leave the link to her channel in the description to this video at the conclusion of this video. We're going to need a couple of other things to propagate these African potato mint cuttings with, and at this time I'm going to go ahead and grab those other couple of things. So I'll bring you guys right back and show you what those couple of things are. Hang tight. Alright, Green Thumb Gardening family, we're back, and for this propagation experiment we're going to be using water to root these African potato mint cuttings. And the only other thing we're going to need for this propagation experiment is what I'm about to show you guys now. This is a piece of styrofoam that I've taken and poked approximately 150 holes in this styrofoam. What we're going to plan on doing is floating this styrofoam in this container of water. I'm going to have to add I actually have enough water in this container. We're going to be actually floating this piece of styrofoam in this container of water with our cuttings poked through these holes in this styrofoam down into the water. Very simple process. I'm not going to bore you guys with the entire process, but I will show you guys how I go about doing that right here and right now. I'm going to go take my scissors here. I'm going to clip this cutting off close to that growth node there on the bottom. I'm going to remove these bottom 2 leaves from this cutting. I'm simply going to stick this cutting through the hole down into the water. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Typically, potato mint cuttings take 5 to 7 days to root in water here, so we're expecting for these cuttings to root very rapidly for us here using this method, and we'll bring you guys back in the next 5 to 7 days at the very first sign of propagation and show you what it is that we have growing on at that point with our African potato mint cuttings. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these 148 cuttings trimmed off to the desired length, poked through these holes onto this floating piece of styrofoam in this water. And I'll bring you guys back at the end of the video and show you what they all look like. Poked through these holes and into their positions to be propagated here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel. Hang tight. All right, Green Thumb Gardening family, it's the very next day. Dark caught us last night inserting our potato mint cuttings into the holes in our styrofoam floating platform that we're going to use to root these cuttings in. And this, Green Thumb Gardening family, this is what the totality of 150 potato mint cuttings look like inserted into our floating platform here in this, again, 4-gallon container. Take a look at this. Bam! Don't these cuttings look fantastic here in our propagation container here? Again, our platform here is a floating platform. It rises with the water level when we add water to this container, and it falls with the water level as the plants consume the water from the container. So at no point do we have to worry about water pressure during this particular propagation experiment. It doesn't matter how much water we have in our container. There won't be too much water pressure because, again, our cuttings only stick through our styrofoam about this far down into our water, and that's about a total of about 1.5 inches to 2 inches down into that water. So again, it doesn't matter how much water we have in this container or how little water we have in this container, unless our container is completely dry. It doesn't really matter about the water level. Each one of our cutters will be in contact with the water or the solution in the bottom of this container during the entire process of propagation, and we expect, again, for these cuttings to root for us successfully within the next 5 to 7 days. Thanks for watching, and if indeed you currently are watching this video on rooting 150 cuttings for our dear friend Mrs. Ina, the owner of Roots and Vine Cafe up in Chicago, Illinois. In order to subscribe to the Green Thumb Gardening channel, please, again, take this moment to press that subscribe button beneath this video, that like button, that notification button, and be sure, Green Thumb Gardening family, be sure to share this video with your friends and family as well. Yeah, rooting 150 potato mint cuttings right at the Green Thumb Gardening channel. Thanks for watching.